Good morning and welcome back, my friends. And for anybody new, hello. My name is Meg. I am lactose intolerant and gluten intolerant, and I also eat on a phase 3 personalized low Fodmap diet for digestive reasons. Now, it is already extremely warm outside, and I'm thinking I'm going to continue to have what my go-to has been this entire week, which is a smoothie. Nice and cool, doesn't require me turning on the oven. Sounds great to me. And each day this week I've been kind of trying new recipes, which is always fun. And today I found one that you use making baby carrots, turmeric, and banana. Sounds like a fun and interesting recipe. I am going to modify it just a little bit to try to make it a little bit more filling and a little bit more fun. I have this can of mandarin oranges and juice. I think if I rinse these off really good in the sink, I could add a couple of these to the smoothie. The recipe calls for using almond milk in it. I have my lactose-free yogurt. I think this and a little bit of milk or a little bit of water, and that will replace the milk just fine. And also, I'm gonna add some oatmeal to it. This will definitely add a little bit more of a filling factor to it. I'm hopeful, but that is the plan. I'm gonna get all of this into the blender and get this smoothie made up. I'm already getting hungry, so I'm glad that breakfast will be fast this morning. For breakfast today is this carrot, orange, and banana smoothie. Now, I started off the smoothie by pulling out a couple of baby carrots, a banana that was once frozen, and these mandarin oranges canned in orange juice. I went ahead and rinsed them of all of the juice so that they would be more low FODMAP friendly. And then I went ahead and put a couple of them into my blender bottle. Some ground flax seeds, a couple of tablespoons of oats, and about a half of a cup of my lactose-free yogurt plus a half a cup of water. A little bit of turmeric and some ice to top it off before putting on the lid of my blender bottle. Before putting it in my blender to pulse it all up. Once done, I poured out this gorgeous colored smoothie into a glass. There is the final smoothie. That color is beautiful. And I'm having it with a side of just plain gluten-free toast, just because it sounded good to have a little bit of crunch on the side of the smoothie to make the meal feel like it has a little bit more substance. But let's go ahead and give this a try. The texture on it is not bad. It looks really, really good. It blended up really well. No, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. The banana and the orange added enough sweetness to it for me. I'm sure some people would want to add more sweetener just as a personal preference, but that's really good. I think this one's a keeper. I like it. It's nice, fresh, and light. So I'm going to go enjoy my little smoothie breakfast, and I will see you guys back at lunchtime. Lunchtime is nearly upon me, and once again, I really don't feel like doing much cooking. It's hot. So I'm gonna pull out the air fryer to do the little bit of cooking that needs to be done for this recipe for lunch. I'm excited to give it a try, so let's get it made. For lunch today is a Copycat Panera Asian sesame chicken salad. I started off the salad by making the marinade for the chicken. Now what I needed for this was a little bit of soy sauce. I replaced the sugar in the recipe with maple syrup and a little bit of toasted sesame oil. This recipe does call for garlic powder, low FODMAP friends. Just skip it. It also calls for ground ginger, but I already have some minced ginger, so I use that instead. Gave everything a quick whisk together, and now to prepare my chicken. I have one very large piece of white meat chicken, so I went ahead and sliced it long ways to make 2 thinner pieces. And then I added the marinade over the top of it, flipping each one of the pieces to make sure that they were properly coated in the marinade. Then I set it aside to marinate for a few minutes. I added a few sprays of oil to my air fryer basket before adding the chicken. For cooking times, 400 degrees. I did for about 10 to 12 minutes, but you want to do that until it reaches an internal temperature of 165. Now for the salad dressing. The original recipe called for rice wine vinegar, which I do not have, so I replaced it with an equal part of apple cider vinegar. And instead of boiling the vinegar like the recipe called for, I was lazy and used maple syrup. Added some olive oil, some toasted sesame oil, pinch of salt, little bit of pepper, and the sesame seeds, and then whisked it all together. I was also super lazy when it came to the salad. I took my washed salad, ripped it apart with my hands, added a little bit of shredded red cabbage that I just happened to have in the refrigerator, a little bit of green onion, and some whole cilantro leaves. Now, I know not everybody loves cilantro. I didn't used to either, but I've learned to like it. But you could obviously replace that with any other herb you like, such as parsley. Then I mixed the salad together to make sure everything was evenly distributed before adding a few spoonfuls of the dressing and giving everything a quick toss to make sure it's properly coated. Then I added the lettuce to my serving dish, put a few of the mandarin oranges on top, then added my sliced chicken. I garnished it with a little bit more of the dressing and some sliced almonds. And it ended up just being such a pretty salad. And there is the finished Copycat Panera Asian sesame chicken salad. Now, I don't know how accurate this is going to be to the original recipe, as I don't think I've ever had the original, and I don't think the original is going to be gluten-free, so I probably couldn't go down and try it, but it looks pretty, it smells good, and I'm very, very interested in giving this a try. So, without waiting any longer, I'm gonna grab a bit of lettuce and chicken and give it a try. Okay, I can definitely see why wonton strips are in the recipe, because having a little bit of crunch would send this over the top. The flavors are pretty good. It just needs a crunch. I have these. I've had them for a while. They're a touch stale, but it might add the crunch that this is needing. So I'm gonna add a few. There's another bite with some croutons. See how this is. For sure, the crunch helped so much. Adding a little bit of a texture variation to it. That's really, really nice. I like this one. I will definitely put this one in recipes that I will be making again. I mean, I have a second piece of chicken, so I'll probably just make this again for lunch tomorrow, because I mean, I have so much leftover dressing too. So yeah, this will be super easy for lunch prep tomorrow too. So yeah, 2 for 1. You gotta love that. So I'm gonna go eat my lunch. I will see you guys back at dinner time. It is nearly 6 o'clock, which means it is time to start getting dinner ready. I found a recipe that looks absolutely delicious. I will leave it linked down in the description, of course, for you guys. But it is a full fat recipe, so I will be cutting back a little bit on the fat in this recipe, but I think it will still be delicious, and it looks rather simple and quick to make. Not a whole bunch of cooking, which I'm about right now. So let us get started with dinner. Tonight for dinner is a lemon garlic shrimp with spaghetti. Now, I started by measuring out some of my favorite gluten-free spaghetti. This is the one that I use. It is an organic brown rice and quinoa from Trader Joe's. I added that to some boiling water to cook While that cooked, I started with my shrimp. I patted it dry before adding some baking soda to it, which I thought was interesting, a bit of salt and pepper, as well as a pinch of crushed red pepper. Then toss that around to make sure everything was properly coated. Then to my pan. This is where you might want to add some garlic infused olive oil, my low FODMAP friends, but I just used plain olive oil, added my shrimp and cooked it for a few minutes on each side until they were done. Then I removed the shrimp from the heat. This is where I added my garlic to the remaining oil in the pan, and I let that saute for a few minutes until it became fragrant. Then I added to that some of my reserved pasta water, a knob of butter. Now, I did half all of the oil that the original recipe calls for, just to try to keep it a little bit more on the figure-friendly side. I added my pasta into the sauce, into the pan sauce, some fresh lemon juice and some lemon zest. Then I added my shrimp back to the pan, mixed everything up, topped it with a bit of a dried parsley. I wish I had fresh, but the parsley in my garden is looking a little sad. And that's it. I went ahead and served myself up a small helping. There is the final garlic shrimp with pasta, or lemon garlic shrimp with pasta. I am regretting not making more pasta than this, but I'm sure it'll still taste good. Let's just dive in. I'm gonna give the pasta a try first. That is still rather good, even though I did cut back on the oil and butter by quite a bit. Let's try the shrimp next. That's delicious. This recipe is definitely going to be going on my make that again list. But next time I will definitely make a little bit more pasta. But that means that this is it for me for today. I hope that you found some inspiration in the dishes that I made today. They will be linked down in the description box. Of course, if you guys are interested, I always like to remind you guys, don't forget to do your due diligence and double check the ingredients in every recipe to make sure it'll work for you, because what works for me might not work for you. If you liked today's video, give it a like. And if you want to see more content like this, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye guys.